my name is Jared Strube, and this is Modular 1, my personal intro for a EDL 856. A little bit about me. This is my 6th year of teaching. I'm a science teacher. I've taught both high school and I currently teach in middle school in Ottawa, Kansas. In my personal life, I'm married. We have a daughter. We have a cat and a dog. We live in Eudora. And at some point in the future, I'd like to become an administrator, preferably of a middle school, but I could be open to a high school. I've changed my preference before. And we'd like to settle down, buy a house, and put down some roots. Now, for the communication portion of this presentation. So, the strategies I typically use to communicate with students and families are email. We use G Suite in my district. Um, so and Skyward. Skyward directly connects to all of my students with their school email and parents and grandparents and guardians as long as they register an email with them. I also use Google Classroom in my classes, and I give the parents uh, access to that so they can monitor what their kids are doing. And of course, a good old fashioned phone call. Um, I try to balance out phone calls home that are positive with those that are dealing with a behavioral issue. Um, how did the readings impact how I will communicate in the future and introduce myself as an administrator? I would definitely try to be more personal, share some, uh, and guess what I mean by is don't give the same introduction all the time. Make sure that I'm differentiating my introduction depending on who I'm giving it to and why I'm giving it to them. Like I wouldn't introduce myself to uh, a school the same way I would to, a friend of a friend. Um, a less sterile, make it more meaningful. Tell a story. Why am I here? What are my goals? What am I looking for? Really draw them in. I really found that really impactful in the readings. And I'd probably introduce myself to the students a lot differently than I will to the staff because with both groups, I have different goals that we're wanting to accomplish. I mean, ultimately the same goal, but they're different roles. I think necessitate who I am to them is going to be a little different. And I think it's important to acknowledge that. Now, as far as district policies that I follow, the only specific policy that I ensure I follow is the district policy on the use of electronic devices, um, primarily saying that I won't be on my phone in class, and it's not going to me utilizing my phone isn't going to interrupt the class because they actually encourage us to like utilize whatever device is necessary for communication and for delivering content, but it can't interrupt instructional time. So yes, I will use my phone for email, but not in class. Basically, is what I make sure I don't do. In fact, I don't generally have my phone on me in class, just so that it doesn't bother me. Um, and I encourage my students not to have their phones on them as well. So those are the policies that I try to follow because there's no real specific district or building policy on communication other than do communicate with kids, build those relationships with students and their parents. It's not really a policy; it's just a good guiding principle, basically. So that is my presentation. I look forward to working with you all in this class. Have a wonderful day.